It has been more than 3 months that the war with Iran has started, and there has been so many negotiations. And every other day, Donald Trump is claiming that we're very close to peace negotiations. Unfortunately, as I told you on day one of this war, that there is not going to be any kind of a peace treaty between the United States and Iran, because this is a financial trap. It is going to cost the United States trillions of dollars, and it's not going to be over anytime soon. And you are going to pay the price for it. So here in this video, I will show you exactly what is going on, when this war is going to end, and how you will pay the price for it. The United States is essentially trapped in this war. The US needs to invade Iran, but Donald Trump is not decisive. This is what he posted yesterday. The United States will be hitting Iran. After claiming that all Iran's offensive capabilities are gone, the United States will hit it very hard. At some point in no too distant future, we will be taking over Karg Island and other oil infrastructure and assume total control of their oil and gas markets. So Donald Trump is claiming that there is going to be some kind of a ground invasion where we'll take over Iran. And without ground invasion, it's almost impossible to finish this war since Iran is a huge country, they're posing a huge threat. But a few hours later, this is what Donald Trump has tweeted. Based on the fact that discussions with the Islamic Republic of Iran have been brought to the highest level of Iranian leadership and approved, I have, as a president of the United States, cancelled the scheduled strikes and bombings against Iran this evening, as if all previous discussions have not been made with the highest level of leadership in Iran. Discussions and the final points have been in both concepts and great detail approved by all parties. So we have already agreed about everything with Israel, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, the United States, Iran. Time and the place of the signing to be announced shortly. All that is left to do is for us to sit down and sign all the papers. Unfortunately, that's not happening, because if you are threatening to take over some of these islands and start a ground invasion, and then a few hours later you're claiming that you're almost about to sign a deal, you know that's bluffing and you know that is not actually happening. If you want to start a ground invasion, you can't be invading countries by tweeting. If you want to invade a country, then you have to get your troops together, you have to prepare them, you have to prepare your logistics, and then you can actually start an invasion. And this is not just another small country. This is a country of over 90 million people, which is extremely mountainous, and it will take over 1 million American personnel in order to start the invasion. Even if you want to take a small island such as Karg Island, if you do that, suddenly American forces will be under the bombardment of Iranian forces. You will have literally thousands of drones flying into them, and your ability to stop these drones is going to be extremely limited. And here's the problem that Donald Trump did not actually understand, is that this war should not have happened. It should be a cold war and never a hot war. One of the major sources of the US power on the fact that the dollar is the global reserve currency is because of petrodollar. There should always be an artificial demand for the US dollar. And a lot of people don't understand the importance of petrodollar. In 1971, when Nixon abandoned the gold standard, the world suddenly found itself in a position: why are we keeping so much US dollars? What is the motivations for nations across the globe to keep buying US dollars? There is no motivation, because the United States of America just breached their agreement and are no longer exchanging or backing the US dollar with gold. That happened in 1971. And if you look at gold prices, they instantly shot to the roof. And at that point, the world realized that this is the end of the dollar. Until the United States has made an agreement with the Middle Eastern countries that they will be selling their oil exclusively in the US dollar. And now we started living in a world where the rest of the world simply has no other option but to buy oil. If you want to run your factories, if you want to run your cars, if you want to have a modern economy, you need to buy oil. And the cheapest and the best oil you can get was from the Middle East. And if you want that oil, now you have to buy US dollars. So that demand for the US dollars is what kept the US dollar to continue being the global reserve currency. So that became the standard. And of course, over the last decade or so, China has been challenging the petrodollar with petroyuan. So the strategy in the Middle East was very simple: divide and conquer. In the Middle East, there are three major entities or three major powers. We have the Arabs, we have Israel, and we have Iran. And as long as these three countries are fighting with one another, the United States is like the big brother who is trying to manage the affairs of the Middle East. And if that's the status quo, suddenly everybody has to listen to the United States. Arab countries or the Gulf countries will have to sell their oil exclusively in the US dollar because they're afraid of Iran and they're afraid of Israel. Israel will have to listen to the United States because Israel is afraid of Iran, and also Israel is not always in the best relationship with the Arab countries. And Iran is not going to attack Israel or Arab countries because Iran knows that behind these two countries are actually standing the United States of America. So when that is the status quo, suddenly everybody is listening to you and it's keeping the petrodollar alive. All these nations will continue selling their oil exclusively in the US dollar. The moment you change that dynamic, the moment you start a hot war with Iran, suddenly that's no longer the case. Suddenly Iran is attacking US bases across the entire Middle East, and Middle Eastern countries no longer safe or feel safe because they're getting bombarded by Iran. All that oil in the Middle East that's supposed to be sold exclusively in the US dollar is no longer passing through the Strait of Hormuz. Yes, of course, Iran is also losing a lot of money here, but all that oil supposed to be sold in the US dollar is basically trapped in the Middle East. And if you're a country and you want to buy oil right now, let me ask you a question. In what currency are you going to buy that oil? If you have a lot of US dollars, these US dollars no longer can guarantee you oil from the Middle East simply because the Strait of Hormuz is closed. And that's why the United States is trapped here, because you have to go in, you have to invade the country, make sure that all that oil that's supposed to be sold in the US dollar can actually get out of the Strait of Hormuz. You are in these negotiations for the last few months and you can't actually force that country to do what you want. That is what we call a humiliation. That's why this war should have never started. And Donald Trump is right that all previous presidents in the history of the US for the last 47 years did not actually start this war against Iran because they knew the consequences. They knew that you have to threaten the public with this war, but you should never start this war. And that's why starting this war was a fundamental mistake for the United States, because you know that you don't have the military power to take over a country that is so huge that has over 90 million people. And now the world starts to believe that the United States is not going to do that. The United States cannot possibly invade it. And that is actually being backed by oil prices. Oil prices are falling because the world starts to believe that there won't be any kind of a ground invasion since Donald Trump made that clear. Oil prices have fallen from around $117 to as low as $86, and they continue following. Not because the world now trusts the United States much more, but because the world realized that Donald Trump is doing nothing but just threatening. He's threatening today, and then a few hours later, he retreats at threats. So the world is like, there is not going to be any kind of a ground invasion, and the strategy is right now very simple. Take something from Iran, give them what they want, declare a victory, and just get out of that crisis as soon as you can possibly can. And when that happens, all that oil that is trapped in the Middle East will start getting out of the Middle East to the rest of the world, and there is going to be an oversupply of oil in the market, which means that oil prices will continue dropping. When you look at this graph, this is not the actual oil prices. This is the prices of oil when it comes to futures. So oil is usually traded not directly, but rather with futures. A future is basically a contract that says that you can buy a certain amount of oil at this price at certain time in the future with a specific amount of oil. That is very important because from the time that you're extracting oil from the ground and delivering it to your final client, it is not going to happen overnight, but rather it might actually happen in a matter of a few weeks. So because you, as the person who is selling the oil, you want to be sure that that oil will reach the destination and will be sold, you will sign a futures contracts. If there is an anticipation that there is going to be a shortage of oil in the market, suddenly everybody will start buying these future contracts and the price of oil will instantly rise. However, if there are expectations that there is going to be an oversupply of oil in the market, suddenly everybody will start dumping their futures contracts and oil prices are going to fall. And based on the fact that oil prices are falling down, the market has made their decision that there is not going to be any kind of a ground invasion. Iran is going to stay the way they are, and there is going to be some kind of an agreement that Iran will actually take what they want, and the United States will declare victory and leave Iran. Now, on one side, that seems like a really good news because why would you want to start a war with another major country? There are going to be millions, if not hundreds of thousands of casualties. There are going to be instability in the entire region. And who wants that kind of a war? And I completely agree with you. We should not have any kind of wars anywhere. But here's the problem. There is a competition between the United States of America and China. And if you actually look at the global map, you'll see that the United States failed the petroyuan. And the Middle East will now go back to petroyuan once the war is over. So if you go back to the previous status quo before the war has started, you will see news such as this. These trends led Iraq to allow trade settlements with China in yuan for the first time in February 2023. So Iraq was the country that the US has invaded. And now Iraq, since February 2023, they started selling their oil exclusively in yuan. That's the rise of the petroyuan. And almost all Iraq's oil goes through the Strait of Hormuz. But that's not all. Look at this. A month later, China made its first purchase of liquefied natural gas produced in the UAE in yuan. So now the United Arab Emirates, which is the closest ally of the United States in the Middle East, also started selling their oil exclusively, not exclusively, but partially in yuan. And they have built the entire infrastructure to sell their oil in yuan. And that's a problem. And the problem is that when they start selling their oil in another currency and not in the US dollar, what do you think that does to the United States? Suddenly, the demand for the US dollar is going to weaken, and suddenly the $40 trillion debt that the United States has becomes a problem because the demand for that debt is going to plummet dramatically since there is no demand for oil exclusively in the US dollar. And partially why you wanted this war or why you wanted to create a conflict in the Middle East is to scare everybody in the region that nobody trades their oil other than the US dollar. But if the US right now will simply declare victory in Iran and will simply leave the region, suddenly all these nations will realize that the United States could not possibly protect them. The United States did not invade Iran. And that means that we can basically start moving into petroyuan, and there is absolutely nothing that the United States of America can do about it, which means that the demand for the petroyuan will continue rising while the demand for the petrodollar will continue falling. And that's a huge problem for the US because the demand for the US debt will slow down, which means that interest rates will continue rising. If you look at the current interest rates and the yields on the US debt, it all comes back to demand and supply. The more investors want to invest in the US treasuries, the lower are going to be the interest rates and vice versa. And the reason they wanted to buy so much US treasuries is because they purchased all of that oil exclusively in the US dollar. Now, because they will start now buying all that oil in yuan, that means that there is no more going to be as much demand for the US treasuries as it was in the past. And that means that the yields on the US treasuries will continue rising, which will lead to much higher interest payments. So this year, total interest payments or the total deficit will be about $2 trillion. And if you look at this graph, you will see that half of that are going to be the interest payments. And as the yields on the US treasuries will continue rising, you can see that the deficit will continue climbing. And by 2030, which is a couple of years from now, we can even expect the total deficit to be $3 trillion. And the vast majority of that, almost $2 trillion of that, are going to be interest payments. And if the trend will continue by 2036, the total interest payments or the total deficit will be about $4 trillion. And again, the vast majority of that will be interest payments. And the United States cannot possibly afford to default on its loans, so the US will continue making the interest payments. The problem was that if you're not making enough money from your taxpayers, you have to cut spending. And guess what the US government will do? Of course, they will start making changes to the Social Security payments, to the Medicare, so that the average American will be receiving a lot less from the government. But that doesn't mean that you will be paying less in taxes. And that's the fundamental big problem that the United States is about to face if Donald Trump is simply going to declare victory and get out of Iran. I'm not saying that the United States should go into war, but because this war started, this is the situation we have on the ground. And that means that instead of relying on the government, every single person right now has to think about how he is going to secure his own retirement, how he is going to take care of himself. And the only only way you can do that is by building your investment portfolio that is going to pay you far more than any retirement plan could possibly do that. So if you want a step-by-step strategy on how you start investing, on what are the best stocks you should be buying in the stock market, how you're going to build an investing portfolio that will get you to financial freedom, you can find a step-by-step strategy in the Investing Academy, which link you can find in the description of this video.